Welcome, Gunrunner.
Hey everybody, Kieran aka The Retrolord here, and I've got another book review for you. And this one is specifically more a Bookazine review, and part of an ongoing series that I've reviewed every one of these so far. They always seem to be popular. They always go down well, and I always enjoy buying them because it's the Retro series, which is now by Future Publishing. Was an Imagine Publishing magazine, of course, before Future took them over. And for those who somehow don't know, the Retro magazine series are compilations of stuff from GamesTM, as it says here in the corner. Now, I don't buy GamesTM, mainly because I don't have an interest in the largest amount of the magazine. But for those who do read it, they'll know it has at the back. It has a retro section, which is usually like, I think it's about 6 or 8 pages at the back of the magazine, which does cover some retro stuff in there. So it does have some retro flavour in there. And what they do is probably every year or so, I think actually, these probably come out. They do a compilation of all the stuff they've put in the retro section over the year, which is great for those of us like me who don't read GamesTM, because we still get to enjoy basically everything that's appeared in their retro section. They always clearly inspired by Crash. The logo is almost identical to Crash's logo, and they also try to use sort of arty drawn covers, like Crash would have used back in the day as well, the Ollie Frey style. So I really like the general look of this. You know, they go for that old school magazine look like Crash. So that's always really, really cool to see. So yeah, everything about it really is great to look at. So let's look through and see what's in volume 10. I've enjoyed every previous volume. So actually, the moment I saw this in W.H. Smith's, I pretty much just grabbed it without even looking through it, to be honest, because I always buy them. But it's a tenner, as you can see. I should mention that. And let's have a look through. This was the last copy they had left as well, actually. So it must be pretty popular. I don't know how long it's been out, but I assume it's fairly new, because I hadn't seen it before. But that might have just been that I haven't been in W.H. Smith's for a while, to be honest. So we've got our index there. We've got Tomb Raider in there. We've got Space Invaders in there. Command and Conquer. There's Grand Theft Auto 3. There's Rez, the Star Wars Rogue Squadron, Diablo. So there's quite a lot of good stuff in here already. So let's have a look through. So Tomb Raider, 20 years on. Cool stuff there. Some early images. Shows how far the game's come. A look at the SNES, which of course is pretty topical right now with the Super Nintendo Mini, which is out now. They're looking at the best games for the system. Talk with a collector. Interview with people who coded on it as well, so that's always good. Interview with Chris Avallone. Or Avallone, not 100% sure. He did Fallout 2, Planetscape, Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic. I'm not familiar with him, and I'm not particularly familiar with these games, but I'm sure some people out there are. Star Wars Rogue Leader. A lot of people mention it as being one of the best Star Wars games. I have to confess, I've not played it, but I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. StarCraft's actually another game I haven't played, but 8 of the best RTS games. Probably think the only RTS game that I'm really familiar with here is actually the Command and Conquer Red Alert, which I've played quite a bit of in the past. Why I love Gallagher. How EA made Sega scream. So an interview with Trip Hawkins from EA and later of 3DO. That's cool to see how they designed their own cartridges, because of course they were the sort of the third-party publisher that broke that mould of being the first where their cartridges were not built by Sega, they built their own. And looks at a lot of EA's best games there as well. Retro Guide to the Mega Drive. So you can't have SNES without Mega Drive. And again, a little bit of Trip Hawkins there, actually, talking about the Mega Drive. David Perry, talking about the Mega Drive. Of course, you have Earthworm Jim fame, probably most famously on the Mega Drive. Yuji Naka talks Sonic down there. So, Getting Sensible John Hare. Love John, great bloke. Met him many times, had a good drink with him and stuff. Always an entertaining guy at retro events. And of course, he made Sensible Soccer, which makes him amazing anyway. Spyro the Dragon. Metroid. There's Rez. Oh, missed a page there. We go back. Oh yeah, Space Invaders. So one of the earliest sort of really big games. It became a worldwide phenomenon, and still going strong to this day, of course. There's still as a new Space Invaders arcade game even came out quite recently, so look out for that. Rebecca Heinemann worked on The Bard's Tale. A few sort of female games designers out there. Warcraft, the original one, not the World of Warcraft that most people know today. Grand Theft Auto 3. I remember thinking how incredible that looked back in the day when it came out. I couldn't believe a game even like that existed. It was certainly pretty groundbreaking, that's for sure. And literally everybody tried to copy it. I think I mentioned Two Day of the Tentacle. So, guide to the Amiga 500. And look at a lot of its best games. Little interview with Mike Montgomery there, who's actually an ST man, not. He did stuff on the Amiga. He told me that his favourite was the ST, and he liked doing the ST because it's more of a challenge. Chris Sawyer, big fan of his games. Transport Tycoon, I can't tell you how many hours I've lost on that. Locomotion, again, I can't tell you how many hours I've lost on that game. It's absolutely incredible. His simulation games, I absolutely love them. The Diablo games, still popular to this day. Chrono Trigger. It's quite hard reaching and trying to flick through this because the distance from the camera I have to get to show you it all. So, Football Manager. Talking about strategy games and SimCity. I'm currently addicted to Football Manager 2018. So yes. Gradius games. I like Parodius. Prefer Parodius to Gradius. So it gets a mention there. Also, the Gradius games a bit too hard for my liking. Stuart Copeland talks about working on the Spyro series. Of course, many people know him as the former drummer of the Police. Behind the scenes on Shadow Man. Not got much of this left. It's getting harder to look through it. Resident Evil. Sequels rank from worst to best with the Resident Evil games. I love Mario Kart. 20 reasons why I love Pokemon. Let's skip through that. I can't think of one reason why I love Pokemon. The Retro Guide to Frogger. I love Frogger and I love Frogger games. So good to see that in here. I'm looking forward to giving that a proper read. The Hobbit. And of course, well before the movie came the Spectrum game. And obviously the original book. And that's the lot. So that's what's in the new issue. Retro, as you see, probably because it comes from GamesTM, has a much broader probably range of what is retro than Retro Gamer magazine. They go a bit closer with, you know, obviously seeing stuff like GTA 3 in there, which you wouldn't really see in Retro Gamer. So you see a lot more slightly modern stuff in there. But for those who read Retro Gamer and don't read GamesTM, this is obviously a great book to pick up because there's lots of great content and interviews in there that you won't have seen before. So yeah, for a tenner, it's a big old thing. It's 164 pages, no adverts in there, so I don't think you can go wrong really. It's well worth popping into WH Smith's and grabbing yourself a copy. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my look at Retro Volume 10, and I'll see you all again for another video very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.